Little check of the brakes. Good to go.
2, taxi out.
Pop off a salute to the crew chief. And try to make this turn. Yeah, there we go. That's just fine. And this ramp was designed for A-10s, so yeah, there would be no trouble at all getting these turns to work.
One's rolling. Alright, as you can see, Nellis is pretty busy and Thunder's a tight ram. You're going to want to really watch out around here for people, jammers, trucks. Yeah, those bread vans are especially bad. Their guys are always in a hurry, picking up and dropping off people, plus the expediters are going spot to spot checking on things. Just keep an eye out for them.
Oh, you calm down, buddy. You just keep it on the lines and let them do their jobs. Come on.
Alright, we're coming up to the taxiway leading us out of Thunder. This is going to be taxiway Charlie. Follow it off to the left and continue straight.
2.
When we taxi, we want to keep it around 15 knots, but certainly under 20. The nifty way we can check our ground speed is to press OSB 10 twice on the CDU page. Here you're going to see it switch from indicated airspeed to ground speed. Now to get it back to indicated, we simply hit OSB 10 once more.
Very nice.
Okay, here's Golf. Turn left now, and we're going to follow this taxiway all the way down to the other end.
Okay, got it. Yeah, getting up around 20. Then make sure I don't get too fast here. Doesn't feel like I'm going that fast, but yeah, 18 knots ground speed right now. B1 up here on the bomber pad. Got some more jets out there in the Gulf revetments.
Okay, off to our left, you're going to see the bomber pads and the revettes. This is where they'll park bombers when they're TDY here, and they'll park aircraft loaded with lives in the revettes.
I think the last time I was here, they had shades over the revettes.
Yeah, they got blown over a few years back. I was here for that. It must have been like 1700, and you seen this wall of dust heading this way from the west. Yeah, it hit the base and knocked it over. We had a few A-10s under there and some Vipers loaded with 120s and 9s. They're here for a special half-cap mission.
Damn, did anything bad happen?
Well, there was some damage to the Hogs, the Vipers, and their missiles, but EOD came out and nothing went off. I think there may have been a few injuries to the maintenance guys and some equipment was damaged, but nothing much more. They just took the shade down and never put another one in.
Okay.
And there we go, stealing my stories again. I think I talked about that during the Red Flag campaign. Show some pictures. I'll probably flash some pictures up again. I think I still have them on the drive. But okay, coming up here on the Alpha. Here we go again.
Prepare to hold short for the runway until I can get us takeoff clearance.
2 copies.
Let me give ground a call and contact tower at 327.00. Contact tower at 327+2.
And I'm going to take that to mean that we're not pulling into the EOR. I'm just going to come up here to the VFR hold line for 03 right and hold. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. Every now and then when I'm just flying missions, I'll pull into there just to wait for my flight to catch up with me.
Okay, go to tower and monitor. We're going to hold here and pick it up in a second. Let me hit tower up.
And there we go. Like I said, here's the VFR hold line. I'm going to hold here. What was the tower frequency again? 327. Okay, 32700 confirmed. Space.
All right, set.
Tower, touch 2, holding short 03 right at Alpha. Hey, can we hold on the active for some academics and delay departure for a few minutes?
Tusk 2, cleared onto runway 3 left and hold. You've got a few minutes before we'll need you guys to vacate. Advise when ready for departure.
Clear to enter and hold 03 left. We'll advise when ready for takeoff, Tusk 2. Okay, before either of us take the active, we need to quickly go through the EB4 takeoff checks. First, take a look at your engine instruments to make sure everything's good. Next, set your flaps for takeoff, verify your speed brakes are closed, and takeoff trim is set.
Engine set, flaps good. Engine's good and flaps set.
Alright, verify that your oxygen is still good, canopy is down and locked, arm the rocket chair, turn on the strobe lights, and verify we are seeing indicated airspeed on the CDU.
Good. Set and showing indicated airspeed.
Cool, go ahead, take the active, line up on the center line, and we'll run through the lineup checks. Let me know when you're ready to press.
2.
Okay, gotcha. Pressing on here. We were clear to enter the runway. And it looks like we have some hawks up here painted in some kind of an aggressor scheme. And it's kind of nice having somebody read all this stuff to me instead of having to pull the checklist up or I usually just do it in memory. I've been doing this for so long in the A-10, but yeah, this is kind of neat. Yeah, okay, there was a message, you're passing 03 right, cross it and continue to 03 left. That had probably been up there for a while. Yep, you are entering runway 03 left, line up on the center line and press space when ready to proceed. Got it. Couple of vehicles moving, F-16s, F-15s out there on the ramp. Just going to slowly take it around here and line up. Hold the brakes. And space.
2's lined up and holding.
So first thing you're going to do is check your flight instruments. After that, check anti-skid, verify it's on. Pitot heat on. APU and APU generator off. Still with me?
Yep, good so far.
So you may have noticed that we're taking off with the wind. I know this is probably pretty odd for you, but here at Nellis it's not too unusual to land and take off away from the city, providing the winds ain't too bad. Now we do this because of the noise and to reduce the risk of flying all those aircraft and even live munitions over very heavily populated areas. Okay, let me get us takeoff clearance and we'll proceed with the next step. Stand by 1.
2.
Nellis Tower, Tusk 2, holding 03 left and ready for departure.
Tusk 2 Nellis Tower, wind at 202 at 6, cleared for takeoff, runway 3 left.
Cleared for takeoff, 03 left, Tusk 2. Alright, so now we're cleared for takeoff. We're going to run the motors up to 90% on the core RPM and hold them there for a little bit. We're going to check and make sure everything is in the green and we have nothing lit on the caution panel. If everything's good, release the brakes, then advance to full throttle.
Copy, stand by.
Okay, gotcha. I was just checking out the mission data card. We have takeoff speed of 132 computed for us. So I'm going to rotate, pull back on the sticks, put my nose up 10 degrees at 122, 10 knots prior to takeoff speed, and that should just put me right on, lifting off as the nose comes up. And let me stow the checklist. Brakes are held, running up to 90% core RPM. I'm just going to hold here, checking that all engine instruments are in the green, no caution or warning. Okay, everything else is good. And did it say to, okay, press space when you're ready to proceed and begin the roll. Space.
2's rolling.
Okay, there we go. Throttle's full. I've just got to disengage nose wheel steering once I get up around 60, 70-ish knots, once the rudder becomes effective. Okay, up through 60, nose wheel steering off. Just a little bit of left rudder to maintain alignment. Okay, 110. 122, rotating for 10. And gear up. Good positive rate of climb. Let me go ahead and go once the gear is stowed. Let's get the flaps up. And I'm going to plug in a little bit of nose down trim. Okay, and I assume 2 is obviously going to follow me out. So I'm just going to fly the runway heading. I've got the steer point off to my right with the speedway off to the left. Up through about 220, I'm going to pull the throttle in just a touch to allow 2 to catch up. I'm going to come around just to the right and let the aircraft work for me so I can continue to relax. This has been the most relaxing mission ever. I'm in path hold. Going to engage it right there. and throttle back and maintain about this airspeed so 2 can get airborne and come in behind me. So we have I-15 down there below us coming up on this terrain. We have Valley of Fire State Park that I believe we're going to fly over. Right up there in the distance, left-hand turn up Highway 95 and the route that we always take during the red flag missions, or have been taking so far during the red flag missions. And checking my airspeed, 231 as I climb out here, and everything is still looking just fine. And looking back there for 2, it's easier said than done in VR. I kind of cheat sometimes. I have a swivel chair, so I don't have to really stretch myself out that much. I can just sort of cheat a little bit and turn in the chair. But once you get used to this, and I'll throw the same caveat in that I always throw in whenever I'm recommending VR, try it out for yourself. Don't just take my word for it, and definitely don't judge it by what you see here on my screen. There is no way to convey it in 2D. It's just apples and oranges. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and the more natural it seems. So I'm definitely a total convert at this point, although, I mean, there still is fun to be had with a monitor and Trek IR, but yeah, there's no going back for me. As we're coming up over the terrain, looking out there to the dry lake, that's the controlled bailout area right there if I had to ditch the aircraft for some reason. And I'm 4 minutes 50 seconds from the steer point. Yeah, just hanging out. And there's 2.
Tusk 2, contact Nellis departure 385.4. See ya. 385.4, Tusk 2, good day.
Okay, 3854 and space.
385.4, copy.
Departure, Tusk 2 with you at 5,000 feet over Crystal.
Tusk 2, departure, copy. Radar contact.
Alright, down and off to our left you can see Interstate 15, which comes out of the northeast corner of Vegas. 95 on the other side of town heads northwest. We'll use 95 to get out of Vegas and into the NCR in a lot of our missions. And we'll follow 15 back into Nellis for recovery post-mission. Today we're going to follow 15 up to Mopa, then turn around and follow it back for recovery at Nellis.
Copy.
There you go, I give up. I'm officially retired from commentary. I don't think there's anything I've talked about yet that hasn't been brought up. Is probably going to bring up the Valley of Fire State Park we're coming up on now here in a second. You see, I'll continue to climb. I think you mentioned 5,000 feet earlier. I'll continue in a general climb, and I can also push the throttles up since 2's caught up to me at this point. And yeah, I can see Mopa, and it's like a little strip of green.
This place is kind of weird. Some spots are just dirt and rocks, and then you drive 20 minutes in a car and there's some amazing scenery.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, just like any place that helps us know the area and what's out there to see and do. Since we're going to be here for a while at Nellis, I'll point out some of the nifty stuff as we fly around the area.
Yeah, there you go. I'm definitely retired at this point. I'll probably show some actual photos of, I'm sure I can find some of the terrain we're going over. You can see all the different colors that are there due to, I would assume, just volcanic activity way back when. I've never actually been to the state park. I've just got all these different places that the next time I'm in Vegas I know to go to now. And here is Mopa heading back there. I can see 2 and Lake Mead out in the background. Then this little strip of green, this little oasis out here in the middle of the desert.
Alright, we're coming up to Mopa, so let's start a level left-hand turn and head back to Nellis for recovery.
Okay, gotcha. And like you said, I'm following I-15 back, and that's I-15 right there.
We're
That
going to shoot a straight-in approach for today, so don't worry about any fancy overhead brakes or anything like that. I'll have you shoot the approach, and I'll follow close by, watching and judging. Sound okay?
Yeah, should be fine.
Alright, I'm going to contact departure so we can get our freak change to approach. Stand by 1.
Copy.
departure. Test 2 is southwest of Mopa, turning inbound for landing.
Test 2, copy. Contact approach at 291-725.
Approach at 291-725 for test 2. Alright, go ahead and get that punched in and start monitoring.
Okay, and again, I completely missed that, so let's see here. And that was switching to approach 291-725. Okay, there you go. And thank goodness for the autopilot as I was down there looking at those numbers. Okay, space, I'm going to roll it out on I-15 right here. If I disengage the autopilot.
Test 2, go ahead for Nellis approach.
Yeah, test 2 is going to be a 2-ship of A-10 to the southeast of Mopa. Correction, southwest of Mopa, with India at Angels 5 inbound for the visual. We're going to be looking for a full stop straight in approach today if that's possible.
Test 2, roger. Sir, continue inbound Nellis, altimeter 2995. Expect visual for runway 21 left.
Maintain 5,000, continue inbound for a straight in, runway 21 left, test 2.